Guess what? We get to see him.
Hey, what's up guys? Tang90 here. Got a new healer build for you. So we'll start off, we got 64 points into Magicka. Nothing into health or stamina. We go with max food and magic. And then this is the Minor Slayer passive, which we'll get to in a minute. Go with the Apprentice for increased spell power, which is going to increase our healing numbers. This is my front bar, my restoration bar. Here I need to change this morph. I don't know why I morphed it to Grand Healing, but this will be Healing Springs, which costs a little bit less, plus you get Magicka back for each healing. I believe this does like 200 more health per tick or something like that. Breath of Life for that emergency heal, which is really great if somebody drops all the way down, healing for 10,000 health, going upwards of 20 to 30 on a critical heal. Now Entropy, I usually run this when I'm running solo by myself, but normally, or if another Templar is not running it, I run Repentance. But if another Templar does run it, you can just, it's a little flex spot. You could put Dark Flare there for some extra DPS, or just run Entropy for the extra spell damage, which again is going to increase your healing. Run Mutagen, you could run Rapid Regen if you want, which is the other morph. Really nice heal over time, which is going to proc our spell power cure, which we'll get into in a second. Ritual of Retribution. This we want to keep down all the time, because not only is it healing you and your allies, you're also damaging other enemies and slowing them down, so it's kind of like a magic version of Caltrops. Here I run Meteor. Again, this is when I run solo. If I'm running in a group, depending on whether the tank runs it or not, I'll run Aggressive Warhorn. If tank is running Aggressive Warhorn, I will go with Solar Prison for some damage mitigation. So back while we're running Dual Wield for a little bit extra spell damage. We're going to run Shards, a Blazing Spear, which again we want to try to keep down all the time. It's going to give our tank, plus if you have stamina users, like restoring stamina. Again, I double bar Breath of Life, because if you're on your back bar and you're throwing shards, or you're using Radiant Impression, you'll get that emergency heal in. Purifying Light, this is another skill we're going to keep up all the time, because when we're doing it, stores damage and then it's going to release this energy, plus when it's done it's going to leave this pool, so when you got the tank taunting the boss, you're throwing him heals right there. Inner Light for extra critical. You could again slot another healing ability if you wanted to, but I just run this here. This is what we're going to use to execute the boss, to help out with the executing. But again, just keep in mind that you're the healer, you're not the DPS. So if you see somebody's health bar go down, you just go. Oh, that was messed up. Anyways, if you see somebody's health bar go down, just block and you'll stop it. Block. Block, heal. For ultimate on this, we're going to use Replenishing Barrier. Now if you have this up when the boss is in execute phase around 30%. I like to hit this because that's going to basically give you enough time to execute and give your allies the damage shield so you can necessarily worry about healing. The weapon here, I'm eventually going to farm for a master weapon, a master restoration staff, given that it heals plus increases your max magic and you're getting stamina back. But for right now, a crafted restoration staff or a restoration staff of willpower will work. Preferably you would want I run dual swords back here, just a 2-piece of Thorax pack for the extra spell damage. Never mind the enchant, I just threw poison on there just to have something. I should be enchanting these, but I haven't. Here is the magic, took me forever to get. Now, this set is a must-have for a healer. 2 items granting you critical, 664 critical, which essentially is 3%. So, granting you Minor Slayer, causing your attacks to deal 5% more damage to dungeon and trial monsters. More spell damage equals more healing, and your fully charged heavy attacks do an additional 871 damage, and enemies you damage are affected with minor vulnerability for 10 seconds, increasing their damage taken by 8%. Now this is going to give your group members some massive DPS. I'll show you what it looks like here. You'll show a little glowing purple. See how they're glowing purple? Now they're going to take 8% extra damage from you and your group's attacks. The second set we have here, this is also a must-have. Spell Power Cure. 2 items adding magic, 3 items adding magic, 4 items adding spell damage, 5 items Spell Power Cure. When you heal an ally at 100% health, you're giving them the 50% chance of granting them 249 additional weapon and spell damage for 10 seconds. Now activate this, and you'll see your arms glow blue, and your allies' arms glow blue like that. That's why we're going to keep this up. We're going to keep the Purifying Ritual down, keep the Shard down, and the Purifying Light. And we just repeat that. Heavy attack, and get your resources back. Healing Springs. Ideally, you would want everything in Divines, but it took me long enough just to get this set, so right now my set's a little messed up. I'm doing Sturdy and Trad. I've got a bunch of trash traits. And the jewelry, the 3 pieces of jewelry is going to be the Aether, the Infallible Mage set, which is very hard to get. I mean, it's not hard to get, but it takes a lot of farming to get. I had to pay somebody to get the necklace because it took so many tries and I couldn't find it. Somebody said they had it, so I'm like, dude, I'll give you 100k for it right now, and he took it. So anyways, you're going to want to do spell damage and chance on those. If you don't have the time to farm for the Infallible Mage set, another good set to run here is the Worm and Bound to You instantly. You can find those at Guild Traders. They're a bit expensive on PS4 right now, so the Worm set is great for trials. A group of 4, it's not the best, but it is still a very good set to run with the Spell Power Cure. The only thing bad about Spell Power Cure is it does not drop in jewelry. I've heard rumors that they're going to change that, but I don't know. So let's get into champion points. I go 61 Hardy, 61 or 65 Elemental Defender, and 21 into Thick Skin. Now depending on difficult content like Trials, Veteran Dungeons, you might have to play around with these numbers, like for instance you're in White Gold Tower. Well, it's a lot of flame damage and magic damage, so you could even take a lot of these out and then put them in here. So it helps to have a little bit of flexibility with your champion points. But just for an everyday average run, this is going to be what I run. 30 into Quick Recovery for a little bit of extra healing. That's up to you, it's a flexible spot. 100 into Magician for reducing our cost. 77 into Arcanist. Now if you guys don't have capped out on champion points, you know, just take whatever I have and divide it in half. 70 into Elemental Expert, 60 into Elfborn, and 10 into Blessed. Why don't we go that heavy into Blessed? Well, because we're getting major mending from our Templar passives. 37 into Thermaturge because we're doing a lot of damage over time. Now, I don't really consider this a DPS build, but with this set, I mean, you're doing close to the damage that a Templar or a Magplar would use just going straight DPS. So this set, I mean, it's pretty good to use for soloing too if you need to. You won't have any problem taking care of it. There's not really an issue. Templars are very fun, versatile. It's a very easy class to play and very fun. Just keep in mind that you're a healer. You're not DPS. Watch your friend's health bars. Your friend's health bars. You're not here to do damage. You're here to help with damage. Again, you don't want to not do damage, but you don't want to stand there. And I see a lot of people doing this. I'm healing you. No. Look how much magic you're wasting, and you're only healing one other person with Breath of Life now. So you're gonna keep your purifying ritual down. The healing springs is great because if you're over here healing this guy, you can cast healing springs all the way over there and help him out. You can do solo content with this still, running around Rathgar, do whatever you need to do, and still be very fun and great healer. You won't do a ton of DPS, but you do enough to do what's necessary. My internet works. See, 36,000. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more.